How can minimum wage debates be framed? When discussing minimum wage, it is essential to consider how these debates can be framed, especially from a libertarian perspective. This viewpoint emphasizes individual liberty, free markets, and limited government involvement. Let's break down some key points that shape this discussion. First, libertarians advocate for the freedom of contract and voluntary exchange. They believe that wages should be determined by agreements between employers and employees. Government-imposed wage floors are seen as an infringement on this freedom. Individuals should have the right to negotiate their own employment terms without interference. Next, the role of competition in setting wages is a significant aspect of this debate. Libertarians argue that wages are best determined by supply and demand in a competitive labor market. When minimum wage laws are introduced, they can distort this natural mechanism. This distortion may lead to unintended consequences, such as increased unemployment or fewer job opportunities for low-skilled workers. The economic consequences of minimum wage laws are also a focal point. Libertarians highlight how raising the minimum wage can increase costs for employers, particularly small businesses. This can result in fewer job openings, layoffs, or even higher prices for goods and services. Ironically, these outcomes can harm the very workers that minimum wage laws aim to assist by reducing employment opportunities. Another critical aspect is the perception of government overreach and individual rights. Minimum wage laws are often viewed as excessive government intervention in the economy. Libertarians frame the debate as a matter of protecting individual rights against state mandates that impose uniform rules. These rules may not fit the diverse economic conditions across different regions or industries. Libertarians also suggest alternative approaches to improving worker welfare. Rather than enforcing wage mandates, they advocate for removing barriers to employment and encouraging entrepreneurship. They believe that a truly free market, with minimal regulation, offers the best chances for workers to enhance their economic situations through increased opportunities and competition for labor. Finally, there is a critique of minimum wage as a solution to poverty. Libertarians often argue that raising the minimum wage is ineffective or even counterproductive. They contend that such laws do not guarantee a living wage. Increased labor costs can lead to higher prices, which neutralizes any wage gains. Instead, they propose that economic growth and voluntary market interactions are more effective in raising living standards. In summary, framing minimum wage debates from a libertarian viewpoint involves highlighting personal choice, market dynamics, and skepticism toward government mandates. The discussion centers on how voluntary contracts and competitive labor markets better serve both employers and workers than legislated wage floors. This perspective also emphasizes the negative side effects of minimum wage laws on employment and economic freedom.